what character traits do you think your children need to have when facing this world?
So, it's tricky because, between you and your wife, you have different life experiences. And so when you notice certain behaviors or certain experiences that your child are gonna have, you want them to either approach it a certain way or come out of it a certain way. So that is always a struggle for us. For me, I want to have honest, vulnerable children. I want them to be who they are all the time, no matter what the circumstance or no matter what company they're in. And so the values that we instill, our core values, our faith in God, we treat other people like we want to be treated. We don't judge. We accept everybody for who they are. We don't try to fix people or make people like us. And to me, that's all wrapped up in honesty. This is who I am. I appreciate and accept you for who you are. And if you're feeling a certain type of way, whether it be hurt, anger, sadness, there's nothing wrong with expressing that in a kind, loving way. And I figure if they can do those two things at all times, they won't have any problems. We get so worried about getting taken advantage of when you show people your true intentions and you don't know what their true intentions are. That's when I rely back on the faith, and I can't worry about what you're gonna do with the information I give you. It's the truth, it's who I am, it's how I feel. You do with it what you will. God will take care of that.
The number one thing I would hope for them is that they will be honest, even in cases where it's going to be to their disadvantage, where they might get in trouble or for having said something, or, I would want them to be honest. And again, having two kids, a big thing for me at home is I want them to be each other's advocate. If nothing else, if the world implodes around them, I want them to have each other. I know my wife and I won't always be there for them, but I would hope that they would be each other's advocate, that they would appreciate each other in that sense. That they can, no matter what.
First thing for me is they have to be able to compete. There's a certain level of confidence you gain knowing that you pushed through something, that you went through a tough situation. So again, I go back to my upbringing. My father was tough, was a disciplinarian because he wanted us to compete. And what I gained from that is when you're faced with a challenge, a struggle in school, which was the main challenge, there's some satisfaction when you're able to get through that struggle. So first of all, you're presented with something you don't know how to solve, a big challenge. There's a big exam you have to pass. We talked about what it takes to get into some of the schools there. It's a rigorous process. That's a challenge. And coming up with a game plan for it, implementing the game plan, and seeing the result of the game plan was very important. That competitive edge gave me confidence that I now actually exhibit when I'm in an environment where I'm faced with a challenge.
All of my people are in education, so it bothers me when I see that many of our African American children are getting lost in this system of not being properly educated. The teachers are getting stressed out, overworked, given the responsibility of doing 3 and 4 jobs. And it's just very, very difficult. We had to pull you guys out, didn't have to, but that was my position, to take you all out of the public system and put you all in a private system for a period of years to make sure that you guys would not be victims of somebody else's foolishness. The same foolishness that I see in some of these school districts now, where it's more about testing, it's not about teaching, it's about testing those children and numbers and all that, and then you come out with a child who doesn't really have the education that they should. So there are multiple things for us to be concerned about, and I'm concerned about, but education of our children would be one. The second one would be the issue of young people being able to be good parents, and then thirdly would be finances. I'm about entrepreneurship. I don't want to just teach a person how to have a job. No, I want to teach a person how to own the job, own the business, and people can work for you. Because see, when I became a lawyer, as a law student, I did work at corporations like Gulf Oil. I was working at Gulf Oil. It was nice. It was a job. It was a check. it was retirement and all that, but I noticed that I have to, they can fire me if they want to. But see, my position was I want to work for who? Myself. Because if client A doesn't want me, I still got client B through Z. And that's what I like about it. So that's what I would hope more young people of today, especially young Black people, couples especially, could run their own business. Don't depend on some business to hire you and keep you. You have your, even if they did that, if they keep you, you still run something on the side to have what we call passive income.
Love God first, love your neighbor. And then later on, he ups the ante of loving your enemy. That's a whole different level. But I think we're trying to raise young women that live that out. And I think that's lived out by real love, empathy, sympathy, all those things. That's the best way to interact with people. Not just to barge in and have your own agenda, but to come into relationship with people.
Gotcha.
You know, and that way you get to know who they are, and then they get to know who you are. They are loved, and so when someone, let's say an authority figure, especially within the family, and me and their mother are telling them things to do that they don't like, it's because we love you, know what's better, and so we hope you understand that, so then you can obey, not just to let me follow the rules, but I know this is better for me because they love me and they want the best for me.
Gotcha.
And then hopefully they live that out. Like, I love this person, and so let me tell them the truth. Let me guide them in this way. Let me sit down and listen because I do love them and I want to guide them in a good way.